I'm heading south for the winter. Well, that's what they say, don't they? But I am heading south. I'm on the road. I'm heading towards Lyminster at the moment. Heading then down towards Brecon Beacons, and I'm going to South Wales. There's a couple of reasons I'm heading south from South Wales. One is I fancy a change, so I fancy going to see the sea and the rocks, and you know, maybe some big sea spray. But the main reason is really to go and see my mate Nigel. Those of you that follow me and have been following me for a long time, you know that Nigel Thomas is a guy that's been out with me several times, went to Scotland with us last year, good friend of mine, and he fell poorly a few months ago, and so because he can't come up to me and can't come out, I decided to go down and see him between Christmas and New Year. So that's my plan. Hopefully I should be hooking up with him tomorrow lunchtime sometime and getting out and having a little bit of a photo session for a couple of hours. If you're a little bit like me, I've spent 4 or 5 days at home after breaking up for the Christmas holidays, and the morning lay-ins have got longer and longer, and the nights have drawn out watching telly and just putting my feet up on the sofa and eating biscuits and chocolates. If you get into that situation, and like I say, I was speaking to Nigel yesterday on the phone, and he said he found it really hard, you know, with not being well and not being able to get out, to actually get the motivation to go out, he found was very, very difficult. And he did say he went out and had a couple of hours out the other day and thoroughly enjoyed it. So I do urge you, if you're sitting there now and you've had a few weeks at home, or you know the winter's drawing its toll on you, and it, you know, you don't feel that urge to go out, just do me a favour. Whenever you can next, whether it's this afternoon, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's the weekend, just literally put your camera bag in your car or in your van and just go out. Okay, just go somewhere local, go somewhere that you wouldn't normally go, maybe even a walk around the town if you haven't got a tree or a forest or some, you know, woodland around you, or some sea or beaches. Just get yourself out, do me a favor, and force yourself to do it, and you'll find that your mojo will probably be lifted, and you'll feel better for it. I'm feeling a little bit like this at the moment. I'm feeling a little bit lethargic, a little bit like, you know, the weather's not great and what am I doing, but I'm actually out and about, and the second I get that fresh air in me and I actually get out of the van and I park up somewhere and I walk around, you know, I'll be fine. And that probably goes for everybody. So I do urge you, this video is about being motivative, or motivating you to get off your butts and get out and take a couple of pictures. And if you do, like I say, get on the old Facebook group, Landscape Photography Adventures, the LVA group, and post me a couple of pictures and let me know where you went and why you went out there. And yeah, please do get off your butts. Well, I've made it down to my first location. It's now 2 o'clock. I've done about 100 miles, and yeah, we won't be getting out the van here. So I'm now just looking through my Google Maps for the next location. The reason I won't be getting out is because I'd come down to the Welsh Crannog Centre, which is like a small round hut right on the edge of a lake, and I can see the hut, and on Google Maps there are some pontoons that lead you out into the lake, like boating pontoons, which is what you have to stand on to be able to shoot across the lake to get the photograph. Now, okay, the weather conditions are extremely rubbish, and it is raining, it's grey, it's miserable, but guess what? There's no pontoons. There is nothing. So, unless I want to swim out with my camera, I've got no chance of getting out there. And the boathouse, or you know, where you hire your boats, is in water, and I don't know whether they bring the jetties or the pontoons back, or whether they're being replaced for the year or not, I don't know, but they're gone. There's nothing there, nothing at all. The concrete stand that the little boathouse thing is just sitting, well, I don't know, it's gone. So plan A isn't happening. So I'm just going to hit my location on my map, and I'm going to go for, oh, excuse me, tired now. Like I say, I'm feeling very lethargic. I'm going to actually drive down out of the Brecon Beacons, and I'm heading for a place towards Nanty Mole. Now, the reason I'm going there is no other reason other than to take a photograph of the road. Yep, the road. But that's my motivation. That's what's driving me to go there. It's in, I think it's on the edge of, or in the edge of, the Welsh Mountain. And literally there was just a picture of the road that I've seen on Google. And I quite fancy going and have a look. There is a little tiny waterfall there as well, so you never know. But that's my plan to head to. I may even end up spending the night there. Depends if I can park comfortably and safely. But yeah, that's where I'm going. So wish me luck. Well, I know I'm sitting in the dark. I'm in the back of my van at the moment, and yeah, I pulled over. I'm just on my way over to Brecon Beacons, and I drove past this little lay-by, and I saw the waterfall, and oh my good, I had to stop and have a look at it. The wind's blowing it upwards, and it's blowing it back over the top, so I'm just going to try and get a photograph out the side of the van. I've turned my van side onto the wind, and see if I can get a picture of the waterfall going back up in the air. So wish me luck, and if I get one, I'll put it on the screen now, just to keep you a little bit more entertained. So it was just a little bit of a treat for you. I just wanted to pull over just to try and get that waterfall. I took quite a lot of photographs, you know, click, 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 with different ISOs and apertures, just to see if I can get some different speed on it. But that was impressive. That was. It was blowing back up over the top. That's actually what I wanted to get on the Faroe Islands with Mulla Fossa and or with Fossa. And you never know, one day maybe I'll get that, but that was quite a nice little treat, that. Now it's getting dark. I'm still heading to that road location just so I can have a look at it on the way past, but then I'm heading down to a different place. I've changed my mind, I think, because we've got some wind and the weather's quite horrible. I'm heading down to the coast, so I'll probably see you in the morning at the seaside. So yeah, see you in a little while. Well, for me it's ages, but for you it'll be in a little while. Well, good morning. Well, lazy morning. I've got the camera out, the tripod is out, and now I'm just basically waiting for an image to happen. I've got the little 18 to 55 on. It's been absolutely piddling it down all morning, so I've stayed in the van really, to be honest. And it just breaks now. It's just literally just breaking slightly now. Oh, that's what I wanted. And I thought, well, I've got to make the most of this video. I've got to finish the video. I've got to do something with this video. So I thought I'd just get out and take a minimal sort of exposure of the lighthouse, of what I've got in front of me. The lighthouse is here. It's not as windy as what I was hoping it was going to be. It's not as wild, but for me, this is actually a really cool photograph. I've lined up the rule of thirds. I've got my horizon line on the rule of thirds with the dark, really dark, moody sky, and I've got light rays in the background. I've got the nice dark long breakwater with the lighthouse just off the thirds, just to get a bit of mystery. You don't want it bang on the thirds or on the thirds, and you don't want it dead centers. It's just off the thirds, and I've got these really nice thundery thick clouds, but because it's brightening up a bit, I've got a nice bit of highlight below them as well. But every so often we get a little bit of wash, just because the wind's coming this direction, you get a little bit of wash just hitting the water and bouncing it over the top. And I just want to get that little bit of water in the air, just to give that little bit of extra to the photograph, and I think that'll make all the difference. I hope you can hear me okay. I've got the microphone tucked down inside my coat. I've got a couple of layers on this morning. I'm not exactly cold, but just trying to keep dry really. I've taken those images where I was before. Then I moved further forward down the pontoon, or down the breakwaters, or the harbour wall rather. And I've taken another couple. That's a big wave. yeah, now I've come down a little bit further and I'm stood right next, you can just see this silver thing next to me. I'm stood next to a big like a shipping container, which is blocking a bit of the wind and the weather from hitting me a little bit. It's not overly windy, and I'm just really waiting. I've got a really nice bit of light on the side of the lighthouse, and I think it's just the bright sky is reflecting on it from over on the right hand side, so it's sort of reflecting on the lighthouse. And I'm trying to wait for a wave to come over the top, and what I'm doing is I'm going to do like a composite image. So I want a bit of a splash coming over the top, and they're not big waves, they're only little ones, but a bit of a splash coming over the top. And then I'm going to use the aftermath of the splash, which is obviously after the action's happened. You get the runoff. So the runoff is then coming down the back of the harbour wall, and it's giving you some texture. So I know it's fake, but what I want to do is I want to paint in the aftermath, the water flow, with the wave in front of it. Now you say it's fake, it might not be fake, it might be one of those ones where you get a big splash, the water runs down, and you get another big splash. So it's not going to look fake, it's just the fact that it is oh, look at that big wave coming around that side. That's going to give you some texture to the end of the runoff. So again, that means I can now, I've got the wall, I've got the lighthouse, I've got the dark moody sky, and now I've got that big splash of water that's just happened on the far end of the wall. So a big rolling wave come past. So I've got that, and I can actually paint that back in with a splash, with an oversplash, with a runoff, and actually make a composite image that I think will look pretty good. Now in the position I'm in now, I've got more of an angle, so instead of looking at it square on, there's a bit of a splash. Instead of looking at square on, I'm side on. Now I am using my finger, as you see on the trigger, which is pretty poor. I've just been given a trigger release from Mr. John Dodd. We've done a bit of a swap for some little bits I've got, for some couple of little bits he's got. Look, a big splash, look at that nice wave, beautiful. And then I catch the aftermath runoff as it runs down the wall back into the sea. So I'm going to spin it around and see if you can actually watch what's happening, and then when I blend the image together and use this composite image with all these little bits of segments, you'll see the final image, and hopefully it'll be worth putting up. That's the one we want, and then we've got the runoff and the aftermath, and that is what I've been waiting for. Done. I don't need to do any more. But yeah, you can flip it round and it doesn't change the composition whatsoever. Like that, then I've got exactly the same composition from moving it from there to there, and it's still staying in the same place. I haven't changed my focal length, haven't changed my position, haven't changed anything. It's not slid up and down on the Arca Swiss plate, it's exactly in the same place as where I started. So brilliant idea, absolutely brilliant idea. And for all you people out there that say, why do we need something like this, what's wrong with the L bracket? That's why, because when you put the L bracket back on, the composition is never going to be exactly the same. Whereas this, spot on every time. Well, that was a fun couple of hours. Absolutely buzzing. I think conditions like this, where it's cold and wet, and the waves and the wind and the smashing, crashing water, it's absolutely amazing to stand and watch. I've taken loads and loads of photographs, probably in the region of, I don't know, 300-400 photographs, if not more, just because you're repetitively shooting, trying to get that wave in the right place. Just had a real special treat as well. I saw the Coast Guard, and I stood next to the Coast Guard tower to sort of dry off and catch out the wind a little bit. He said, do you want to come up here? So I went up onto the Coast Guard's tower to have a look up there, and in all fairness, the photographs aren't any better. You're better off down lower so you can see the waves are higher. But it was nice to have the opportunity to go up there and say hello and speak to them for a bit. And I put an image up in the corner now for you to show you what it looks like from up there. But yeah, there was no waves up there. The tide had gone down by then, but I was concentrating on the big waves and the wash and the splash. So back, look, here I am, the van's there now. So I'm back at the van, just got to get around this water. And look how clean it is. Look how white and clean and shiny she looks. Doesn't look like that every day, does it? So yeah, I'm going to get in the van now, have a cup of coffee, and then I'll say goodbye when I'm in there, because I'm freezing now, absolutely freezing. So back in the van, like I said, my phone's buzzing in my pocket. What's going on here? Mr. Gareth Danks. Look, I'll better answer this. Well, you know how it is, you know, when these big wigs, they phone you and contact you, you've got to answer the phone. I was talking to Gareth this morning anyway, so it was quite nice, and he's down this way and I'm going to meet up with him later on, which would be really good. Quite looking forward to that. So yeah, I think I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to have my coffee. In fact, my coffee's here ready, going cold. I'm going to head up to a little lake. I'm just going to have a look. There's a lone tree in South Wales on this little lake, Kenfig, because the water levels seem quite high at the moment. We've had a lot of rain. I'm just going to go and have a look at it and maybe take a phone snap or a record shot of the tree, because it'd be quite nice to have this, just to have a see and see what it is. It's not a very popular place. I think it's a one-trick pony. So I'm going to do that on the way up, and then I'm going up to see my mate Nigel, and then get ready for this evening and go out and see some of the lads. Graham Harris and Nigel's obviously, I'm hoping I'm going to get him out, and obviously Gareth is coming now as well. He's a friend of Nigel, friend of Gareth's anyway, friend of Gary Graham. Oh, I don't know, forget it, waffling. Right, I've got to go. Thanks for watching, ciao for now, see you soon, and all back to front. Like and subscribe, thumbs up and all that sort of stuff. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed this morning, and you know, shooting the waves. And when you're doing these composite images where you can paint in bits of the images and stuff, I've done videos on it as well, so do check them out. I quite enjoy doing that sort of stuff, and I love watching the sea and the waves, and it was really good going up in the lighthouse tower, in the lifeguards tower as well. So yeah, I'm off. See you next time. Don't know where, don't know when, but it'll be somewhere in South Wales. Ta-da! I've got to go. I've got to drink my coffee. My head's gone now. Bye bye.